Good evening. Welcome to the Center Township Board meeting. I'm trustee William Wright.
I'm Patsy Wynn, board meeting member.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Laurel Setzer.
That's Harvey, president.
Jeff Bobby, council vote.
Okay. And Laurel is our new board member. You gonna call the meeting to order?
Seth supposed to be the
Okay. You wanna call the meeting to order?
Sure. I call this meeting of the Center Township trustee's office to order at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
First order of business would be for the trustee to issue the oath from below.
Yep. So you can get us right up here, correct?
I'm sorry.
Or do you- Where can you still see us? Are we standing too close if we're in front of the table or?
I can see all four of you. I cannot see the attorney.
Well, that's,
He doesn't care.
he's an attorney. It's it's not a law. Well, we can actually just do it right here. Okay. Raise your right hand. I'm gonna go ahead and just read everything. On August 26, 2025, duly elected member of Center Township Board resigned from the position. September 16th, 2025, pursuant to Indiana Code 31311, a caucus was held in a timely manner in the Hendricks County by the Hendricks County Republican Party. By action of the caucus, Laurel Setzer was selected to fill township board vacancy created. On September 17th, 2025, Laura Setzer was will be sworn in and took the following oath of office as administered by duly elected Center Township trustee William Wright pursuant to Indiana Code 36644. Okay. I solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America.
Okay, I solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
And the state of Indiana.
and the state of Indiana
And the laws of the United States and the state of Indiana.
and the laws of the United States and the state of Indiana.
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office as a member of Center Township Board
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office as a member of Center Township Board
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Welcome aboard. 503.
You both kindly sign two, please.
Yes. We're gonna turn, one will be in our office and then I'll make her a copy and then we'll put, one with that. Sorry?
While you're signing, I will go through the minutes. Patsy, are you okay if we waive the reading of the minutes? Have you had time to review those?
Yes, I've read the minutes and I have no problem with waiving the reading of the minutes.
And would you like to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
Second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstain. Well, what's not present? Thank you. Done. We'll go on to the next.
Jeff, were you wanting a copy as well?
No, sir.
Okay.
I would appreciate it. Maybe just have it give me a shoot and see it. I'll throw it on.
Yep, absolutely.
I added a line here, that we need to nominate a secretary to.
I make a motion that we nominate Laurel Setzer as secretary to the board.
All those in favor of Laurel Setzer being the secretary, say aye.
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 And thanks again, I really appreciate it.
Next, it's, to open the public hearing for Gamble. Correct?
Correct, yes.
So I'm now opening the public hearing. We have no public applied from our gentleman and our chief, but trustee, if you want to.
Yes. If you'll notice, I given the packet. This is for resolution 2504.
Which is,
It's the, it'll be this one, the Township Capital Improvement Plan calculation estimate for infrastructure. Okay, so if you go through, you'll see, what we're anticipating there, 2027. We're not looking at, we're not gonna be getting lit funds, so we're gonna have to figure out, address that later, because we end up creating a rate just for the township, but that is an entirely different topic. If you go through this is a brand new plan, so it's been a work in progress, as you know, Beth. I can't even imagine what you guys have to deal with down there. But, our estimated balance, December 31st, 2026, would be $945,000, actually, $942,737. With the adjustments in a cash balance, it's $945,000 even, or it puts us $2263 in the hole. And with the budget that's been created for the CIP, leaves a zero balance for the township road infrastructure. Infrastructure improvements, you'll see, and I apologize on the third page. You'll see I've got 15,000 in there. We need to upgrade this video system. Desperately need to replace the computers in the office. It's just literally a matter of time before they collapse. And I've got $350,000. You'll see the township office. And what I would like to do there, and again, these are all things we can address later, is consider possibly having a standalone township office, so we're not paying rent and other things like that. And I've got $450,000 for acquisition plan. We've had this conversation many times, we need to be looking at replenishing the cemetery stock and even possibly acquiring land for parks. Center Township is becoming the fastest growing area in Hendricks County, and land is not going to get cheaper or more readily available within the township. So we, later on, we need to have a conversation about what we're thinking about there. You'll see I've got $150,000 that I want to get to the fire department for the ambulance. And then,
question,
yes,
I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. That's what
I
this is for.
spoke with Chief earlier, and you and I had discussed that this $150,000 was gonna be for 2 years, when the ambulance would be here in 2 years. But I spoke to the chief a while ago, he said 2 months.
Okay, well,
So that's my question. So then I asked him where he was gonna get the other $300,000 for this ambulance, because we don't have it.
It's a total of 325. If you remember initially, the initial contract that.
I've seen so many numbers since then.
$450,000.
$450,000.
that was the initial.
That was the original ambulance. We renegotiated the contract. Instead of building one from scratch, we were able to get one that was on the line. It's 325 total. So that 150 will be just about half of that ambulance, which is a contract we trustee signed, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But because it's not built from the ground up, it was a demo. We were able to get to it soon enough where we could get the paint that we wanted and make a few changes along the way, but save a significant amount of money, because we didn't need an ambulance that's built for 20 years, right? It had every bell and whistle that you could get.
So we're gonna be saving money and everything, but my question is still, where's the other
That'll come from the equipment replacement fund from the territory.
from the territory?
From the territory.
I just wanted, for our audience.
Sure,
That's where the rest of the money was coming from the fire territory.
Speaking off camera is Rick Duncan, Danville Fire Chief.
Is he, can he be seen in our video?
We're good.
Okay, thank you, sorry I interrupted.
No, you're fine, that's what this is all about. And of that, we've got 186,000, and that's speculative based on what we still have left this year. 186,000. Man, why did I pick such a dark? 542. We're getting in now. We're actually getting into the budget. So. Jeff, does the budget also go into the CIP?
Budget doesn't necessarily go into the CIP, but what we budget is a restricted fund. So that would naturally not be available for, consideration in the fund.
Okay, because when I'm looking at this, I'm getting into our budget portion and let's say that's.
I think having the overall budget is fine because I don't have my teaching materials with me, but I had them last time. And the first restricted fund, the first restricted category is your budget for the next year. You've spoken, you say, hey, we need this to operate. And then you go through the other restrictions. Did someone make a request and say this is a request for improvements of South Cemetery, or this is to help bring the firefighters to state, like say I want you to do something for a day room or something for the firefighters. Well, that's cash, but it's restricted. You've been told what to do. The big restrictions are, our internal controls are about this, that the U.S. Department of Administration, U.S. government, Homeland, the internal controls are about this thing. And so when we get a grant, we're living off their controls. That was something that we talked with the legislature about, like, hey, you can't consider those funds, they are the federal government's, and we would get in a lot of trouble with them. So those would come off too. If we've got borrowed money, it's not our money. That's the local bank or the Bank of New York Mellon or Chicago, if it's a bond or whatever you have, will be on our books. It's not our money. That's the bank's money. So those would come off.
Okay.
So I think.
But we still need to list it on the CIP.
I think it would be fine, to show, how DLGF is navigating the use of their form. They have changed it several times. I don't know this, but I tend to think this year is going to be graded on a pass-fail, not an ABCDF. So if we get this through and we're accurate and transparent of, hey, these are the anticipated needs and obligations of the township over the next 3 years, then I think it is accurate.
Okay. Well, it's just because I know the very first one we didn't have the operating budget, restricted funds and stuff, and then.
And for the board, this is a forecasting document. Because you accept it, does not mean you're making any contractual commitment, does not mean does not, oh, we put that on the CIP, why are we appropriating? Because that's the truth of what allows the township or the department or the trustee to spend anything. So we would have to appropriate in the later budget or off budget an additional appropriation. So all this is forcing us to have a good, long, internal look of all these things we've talked about over the years of, well, we oughta, shouldn't we, why don't we? Well, I'm starting actually thinking about it.
Absolutely, sir. Okay, I'll go ahead and then continue with this, the understanding that these next figures are a derivative of our budget, not necessarily the CIP, but, and then we got $1,679,607 that we're gonna transfer to the new fire territory, along with, our equipment debt of $59,89, emergency fire loan of $3,002, and then down here the cemetery is part of the CIP fund. Mausoleum needs repairs, and sadly that's expensive, but that's $62,363. We did get a quote from the monument service here in Danville. And these are, again, as Jeff said, you know, this is anticipated and we're trying to figure it out, but, property tax generating 2025, the cum fund, $113,665. I'm just having issues reading this.
I think next time it would be nice if it were a little bigger.
Bigger and clear, yes.
I said bigger, you said clear.
For us old people. Okay, and then down below that, you'll see that the accumulation of those funds, or estimates rather, is $1,387,532. So, and again, you know, as Jeff said, this is tentative in our plan, where we want to go and where we want to head. But all that we will have to, in other meetings, we'll decide on where we exactly appropriate where we're headed and what's, you know, the future going to look like for us providing services. So, any questions? No?
The question I have, do we definitely know if we in 27 are gonna have any lit money?
No.
We do not know.
And Jeff and I have actually talked about that, and
So we could be bone dry.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, trustee, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, there is that potential. We just don't know. There's a lot of things. This is a moving target. There's a lot of things being proposed with the state and legislation and things. You know, to help us recapture that, you know, are the funds gonna go to the county? Are they gonna, you know, do we have to then go petition the county for that, you know, give them our budget? There is that potential that we wouldn't have anything. Hence, you know, do we need to have reserves? Which, you know, we'll have to look at the CIP, the plan down the road, but, you know, that's in 2027. Jeff, what were you gonna add to that?
Patsy, there's all known lists, all pre-SB1 lists are gone. And a whole new array of lists have been approved. And I don't think they're a pure one-to-one replacement. I think generally, I can't speak about Hendricks County, there's some consternation at the council level or county levels. Oh, why must we add property tax or income tax? Well, if you had lit before, prior councils probably authorized those lists, may have had to. Danville or other municipalities in the county, depending on their size, may have the means to issue their own lists that would not necessarily be available. The council will have the opportunity to consider two possible lists. One indirectly affects you, one directly affects you. The indirect one would be if they adopt a fire lit, different than the old public safety lit. Public safety lit was very broad. The jailer and the prosecutor and the sheriff and all different kinds can tap into that, including fire departments. And the council would decide who was to receive support from that. That's gone. That'll be gone with the others. The fire lit will be for municipal, territory, district, and other established fire departments, and they would be able to tap into that, and that would be distributed out to those that qualify. And there's no more, oh, your project looks good to us, or you should have a turn. It goes out to them. The other lit is a discretionary, unincorporated lit. And we would be an unincorporated unit. Library districts, other different districts would be unincorporated. I can't think of any other good examples. And they may adopt that, and it nets out to 0.05. The fire lit's 0.4, pretty decent rate. You would be at, it's supposed to be 0.2, but it comes out to 0.05, and you need the CPA to explain that. I know a lot of the fire departments are very attentive in attending council meetings now and making sure that they're very aware. Might be worthwhile if we're looking at this of making sure the council knows that, hey, I know this was broadly supposed to be a tax relief bill. You guys have been doing tax relief for a long, long time. You have avoided a civil levy for years. And so if there's not a replacement tax, meaning a replacement income tax to continue to do the civil side, you will have to, before June of next year, petition DLGF to establish a levy. So I hope that's not too much, but that's sort of what's coming in the next 8, 9 months. And they have to decide next summer if they're gonna do those levies.
Is that by June 30th?
We have to petition for a new civil levy by then, and it's next summer, they have to establish whether or not they're gonna adopt those levies.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, as of today, I'm going to strongly encourage it, but I'm gonna do due diligence and look into it. Every one of us here is also taxpayers, and it's gonna affect us, so, you know, like Jeff said, we've been fortunate, we've got by for years, forever, without having to pay it, so, it's the new game now. So,
And you may have to run that discussion parallel. You may have to be having a conversation with DLGF about civil levy, because we have no means of knowing when the council will take it up, or if they will pass it. So my worry would be is, I would really not want to find out the second week of June whether or not they're doing it, because DLGF is really busy right now. I would not want to roll in the 22nd of June and say, hey, I'm petitioning for my civil levy.
yes, and then 2027, we're sitting there out of business.
But you're living off the savings for sure.
Yes.
So we should start checking the commissioner's agenda and all that kind of stuff.
Council.
So we have coming out.
It's the
The
council
council.
body, so it'd be the council.
Is it
It's
the
not the
council or commissioners?
Council.
Council?
But we've got some homework, I've got some homework to do, and I'll keep you apprised of that, where we're going, because, you know, we're gonna have to do that as a collaborative effort. Anyway, were there any other questions then about the CIP plan? Okay,
No.
then I'll go ahead and read this then. This is for a resolution. Township Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, and after referred to as the board, met at a duly called and authorized meeting of the board held on the date set forth below, such meeting being called pursuant to a notice stating the time, place, and purpose of the meeting received by all board members, and the following resolution was made, seconded, and adopted by a majority of those present. Whereas IC Code 369 requires Township Board to receive and review the township's annual capital improvement plan, whereas a public hearing was held on the date entered below concerning the township's capital improvement plan, I apologize. Now therefore be resolved, the Center Township Board hereby adopts the 2025 capital improvement plan for the township. So that I need to have you three vote.
This one to be reviewed annual, right?
Yes.
We will have to do it annually, and, I tried to tense one last night. We don't have to do this parallel to the budget. A lot of people are, stressing because, we just got documents and templates moving around through August. I really think we probably can, make this a summer item if it kind of takes the pressure off. It helps a little though to be like, hey, here's what we're thinking of, and here's how it ties to budget. It makes sense, but they've set the deadline for September 30th too, so it would be nice if it was parallel to budget adoption as well, because it seems tied together. So we will have to do this annually and revisit it. So unless they change it. So at 26, next year, 26 will drop off, and 29 will add on, and we'll see where we're at. And we ought to know, we'll have the legislature will make whatever adjustments they might make, and hopefully you'll have council's information, and you'll know more about whether or not we are going to pursue a civil.
So we have to approve this by September 30th.
No, we have to have it turned in by September.
September 30th of 2025.
Yes.
Well,
But I think we have to vote on it now, that was the point.
well, I make a motion that we adopt the resolution of the Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, to establish the Center Township Road and Infrastructure Fund. As presented.
Wrong resolution, the other one, 2504.
I've got 25
No, no, you've got,
2505.
no, that's the next one.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. 2504.
Hey Patsy,
Yes, I got it.
I'm just gonna close the public hearing first, seeing no comments from the public, now we can go ahead and make a motion.
Thank you, Madam President. I make a motion that we approve resolutions 2504. Let me continue. 2504, resolution of the Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, Indiana, adopting the Center Township 2025 capital improvement plan. The Center Township Board, the Township Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, Indiana, the board, met at a duly called and authorized meeting of the board held on the date set forth below, such meeting being called pursuant to the notice stating the time, place, and purpose of the meeting received by all board members, and the following resolution was made, seconded, and adopted by the majority of those present at the meeting, which constituted a legal quorum of the board. Whereas Indiana Code 36-6-9 requires that the Township Board receive and review the Township's annual capital improvement plan. Whereas a public hearing was held on the date entered below concerning the Township's capital improvement plan. Now therefore be it resolved that the Center Township Board hereby adopts the 2025 capital improvement plan for the Township. And we should date it this day, 17th of September 2023.
Second,
Um,
a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried and stands.
So we need to sign, how many of these do?
No, I'm gonna pass the one down first.
So for clarification purposes, the next item on the agenda will be a public hearing as well.
This was,
A little for the budget, but not for this next resolution. That was a public hearing. Next item of business is resolution 5-05.
This again is dealing with, the CIP. We need to state that this is a public.
It's not for this.
This is not public?
This is.
Okay. All right, well, this is another requirement for the CIP. I'll go ahead and read it so we got it on record. Resolution of the Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, Indiana, establishing the Center Township Road and Infrastructure Fund. Township Board of Center Township, Hendricks County, Indiana, after the board, met at a duly called and authorized meeting of the board held on the date set forth, such meeting being pursuant to the notice stating time, place, and purpose of the meeting received by all board members. The following resolution was made, seconded, and adopted by the majority of those present at the meeting, which constituted a legal quorum of the board. Whereas Indiana Code 36-10-2 passed in 2025 by the Indiana General Assembly requires the township to establish a fund for the improvement and maintenance of the roads and the infrastructure within the township's boundaries, referred to as the road fund. Whereas the road fund may be funded with a transfer of unobligated cash balances as described in Indiana Code 36-185 D2 B as in boy 3. And the township shall constitute 30% of the balance of all unrestricted funds as defined in Indiana Code 36-694.5 that exceed the township's budget for the following year, as provided by the township's capital improvement plan under Code 36-6-9-12 B as in boy 1. Whereas if there are any unobligated cash balances per Indiana Code 36-6-10-5, a transfer to the road fund must be done in the same manner as a transfer from the rainy day fund under Indiana Code 36-185.1, and whereas no funds shall be transferred from the road fund without there first being a corresponding memorandum of memorandum of understanding with a sponsoring local unit for a qualifying road or infrastructure project and a project-specific resolution approving the transfer, which the board shall be under no obligation to approve. Whereas the trustee and the township board of Center Township understand that pursuant to Indiana law, as cited in pertinent part above, it is required that the road fund be established. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Center Township Board hereby approve the creation of the Center Township Road and Infrastructure Fund to hold any qualifying unobligated cash balances pursuant to the terms of the resolution applicable law as cited here.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
And
I
a
second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. We'll now open the public hearing, for the 2026, proposed budget. Bill, do you have any comments about the changes to the budget?
No, are there any questions from three members? Not a lot of changes. There are,
Look,
yes, go ahead.
I was wondering where the truck.
The truck, okay. If you see, there are some additional appropriations. I've got, yeah.
We're not on there.
Not
It's the budget.
Okay. No, I don't, from the operating budget, no.
So in, township assistance,
Yes,
I see that you doubled rentals and utilities, but you didn't ask for additionals this year. So where do you set this year with that? If you had to double it for next year, are you close to your budget this year?
yes, we could easily run one, we've had two nights. Absolutely, and it's not been factored in, on top of the population increase. Looking at, we're starting to see, sadly, quite a bit more people coming in for assistance. That's gonna do nothing but continue.
You guys in the AES rate, so going on.
I didn't hear you.
We don't have any.
The AES, we have subject to the AES rating.
It's campy.
I don't think so, I don't know, I don't think so.
I would think we would do.
Our, what, Henry's Federal, our agency,
And do, yeah.
I think, we might have, maybe that was smaller.
I just know some people are getting hit pretty hard.
Yes, they are.
Yes, so.
And that's actually a lot of what we're getting is utilities. And it's only gonna get worse from here on out, through the remainder of the year. We've not had an increase in, that I know of, so, the last decade.
So the utilities are showing 10,400.
That's
Before
what
we
we
move
had,
on,
yeah, that's what we're budgeting for our utilities.
I'm gonna close the public hearing and then we'll continue the discussion.
Okay,
All right.
no, you're good.
The only other question I had a couple of questions. One was on the professional line of, general fund. That was increased by quite a bit from last year, $500.
Mhm.
What do you pay for professional?
Legal fees,
Okay. Is that all that comes out of there?
Yes. And I hesitate, I'm trying to look at some subscriptions or, that might come out of that, off the top of my head, this. Yeah,
Giving some thought to,
oh,
we may need a
Yes.
CPA if we
Yes.
have to do application for the civil levy.
no, we are gonna hire a CPA to, thank you. We're gonna need to hire a CPA to come in and look at some of what we did with fire territory, to figure out, our best guess, what tax dollars we're gonna receive. If we have to do a rate, what can we minimally get by with? And, figure out just, we're headed in the future. you know, we've got to prepare as though we're not going to get any lit, and if we do, then it's, you know, it's a bonus that we can put back for aid to the community.
The rainy day, there was a big jump too, so do you have a plan for that next year?
Cemeteries, yes, but that as a, what do I say? There's a lot of things that we are planning, that the rainy day fund gives us the flexibility to be able to implement some programs. We're getting requests now from food pantries, and, I know we like to do more with shelter in wings and other associated things, so that's what we would be looking at that. Also, you know, we need to have some reserves. So that's what we're
Spend it,
proposing
it's
for
not
that.
reserved.
I'm sorry?
If you spend it, it's not reserved.
Correct. But, sadly, it's a lot of this, you know, we don't know until we get into, and then, you know,
Do you have the discretion to give to not-for-profits like that, like food pantries and shelter homes with tax?
We can do what are called community cooperation contracts. And we would, if we got substantially into it, we can. And what you find is, I have a lot of clients where they'll be like, church or the nonprofit or something is running really good pantry. And it's like, let's not compete, let's endorse and lift them up. So if they come with a proposal, it's a simple resolution.
also, we're replenishing those funds because we're using it for, you know, we used it for, the purchase of that house. So,
The acreage, the cemetery acreage.
yes,
We're not running, it's not shelter.
correct. So, yeah, a good portion of that's to replenish it as well, so that we're not.
All the questions I have. No.
Okay. Okay.
This says it's taking
We
motion.
don't adopt.
It's
We
next
just
month.
make a big budget. Yeah. Okay, so, is it a public hearing for additional?
Yes, we want to just make clear that the adoption, there's no motion or vote tonight. It's an introduction to the budget and the public hearing. And what the date, time, place of your adoption is going to be, just
And October 1st at 5 PM, same location. All right, we'll move on to open public hearing for, the request for additional appropriations. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, I guess I can close.
Well, wait,
But I can close public hearing.
okay, all right.
You have any, sir?
on the appropriation.
Well,
The appropriations are mostly related to
The fire truck.
the truck, or the pickups, and, there's something else we're catching up for something prior, weren't we?
the
The
house we bought by
cemetery.
the cemetery.
Yeah.
For clarification, that's only for guests for the public hearing.
Right,
So
right.
you close the public hearing, then we can have it.
Right.
Okay.
So it's closed at this point, now we can discuss.
Okay, well, you'll see there, I've got, $10,000 that goes towards the computer and, video. And sadly, I'm afraid that might be low, but then, in the rainy day, we've got, 46,000 there. That is going to be for the house, which we had discussion in previous meetings, that was approved, but, just have to reappropriate it. Then we've got $5,000 from the firefighting fund and cumulative fire, which is going to be near and dear to Patsy, the 29,000. What we've done there is, we've taken the 75,000 out of the fuel fund. And that's going to be the difference so that, Rick can buy those two vehicles. So,
So with that said,
go ahead.
they, Laurel, I don't know if you're aware of all this, but we probably should bring you up to date. The fire department sold an old fire truck that we had to Randolph County in New York for $100,000. And we approved that, and we're cleaning up some paperwork tonight for that. And that $100,000 has been deposited, $90,000 has been deposited in the Center Township fund for that. So then, at our previous meeting, the fire department came and they wanted to spend $51,000 each for 2 new trucks. I asked several questions with regards to this, knowing that our funding is going down. We may not have a lot of things. So I voted against purchasing those 2 trucks because if you figure the numbers, we actually could only buy 1 truck with the funding that we have. So that's my position on this. I still say that we should wait and let the fire territory purchase these trucks, and we should not touch that money.
I just want to reference February of 2024, I came to this body and asked to sell a 2001 heavy rescue bid. It's been out of service for a long time. It was eventually going to sit and rust and there was any investment or any potential cash back. I was granted that with the intention of using it to replace vehicles. We have several older vehicles. I do want to bring the point that one of the vehicles that we're trying to replace seized up last night and had to be towed to the shop, and I have no idea what kind of repairs are going to be needed with that. That was the Dodge Ram. So now right now we're dead in the water with that, and I don't know how long it'll take to figure that out.
That's actually, these vehicles you're asking for would replace that, correct?
That's correct. They were set up to replace that. Now, we wanted to keep
So there
the
goes
best
the
one of the
value of
two
that.
as a reserve vehicle, because right now, the deputy chief that drives that vehicle is driving his personal vehicle, and that's, he can't make response runs or anything now because it's his personal vehicle. But that was the original in 2024, February 2024. That was the intention. We don't need it. We'll sell it, and we can put it back where it came from, which would be the equipment replacement fund. This year, we already allocated for 2025, $75,000 in the equipment, out of what's in the equipment replacement fund, which is around $200-ish thousand, right? So we wanted to leave that intact. We could, because the intention was to take that. Okay, we sold it. There's a 10%. We did not pay a transportation fee. I know that came up in the last meeting. That was the seller's fee. So it was 10%. If we sold it for more money, they'd have taken more money. So that's why it was $90,000. We finally agreed on the price of $100,000, and that's why it was only $90,000 deposit. But that was the original intent of selling that, so that we could use that for other vehicles.
My other concern was the insurance. If we purchase these trucks, then we've got to insure them.
You
The
don't.
fire territory takes over. How are they gonna get the insurance?
I have it in my budget right now. I got the quote from Jim Tackett, who is our current, the township's currently insures all the township vehicles. Bring you up to speed, the town, it's a weird system, but short version is they split the personnel costs. Town owns the buildings, township owns the vehicles and carries the insurance, that type of thing. So in fact, I even had lunch with Jim today, $83 a month to insure those. So we're less than $300 for the rest of the year. I can get that out of my budget. I'm not asking for that. Just asking to be able to buy these trucks because we need them. We have an Italian chief that's going in service next year. They don't have a vehicle to drive. It's just,
But we've got the one out of commission now,
Right.
and probably will not get fixed or replaced.
so if we don't buy the 2 vehicles, the increase from model year 24 to 25 is $8,600. So that's not a good way, in my opinion. That's not being a good steward of taxpayer money. I told you about the Dodge Ram that seized up. We don't have any reserve vehicles now. We talked about the allocating the money. The fire department will pay for the equipment installation, the lights and stuff, when we put those 2 vehicles in service. And we're gonna pay the insurance. And again, we talked about there was no.
And we will still have the title until, we'll have the title.
You'll always have the title.
Always have the title.
Always have the title.
So
But
we
it's a
were
total of
figuring the money last time, and Jeff, you said we didn't exactly have enough money to purchase 2 trucks?
Well, we didn't exactly have enough money appropriated.
In the Cuban fund.
And be clear,
And that's why we advertise.
right, and so I understand it too, and that would make you clear, right, when we're talking about approving purchasing trucks, not approving purchasing trucks. You have a budget where you approve $75,000 appropriated, so there's adequate funds already appropriated to buy 1.5 trucks.
Right, it's a total of $103,110.
And dealers typically will sell you half a truck, so.
Oh, imagine that.
Well, we've got enough to buy one, now
So
we just,
So we're talking, and what we came to the conclusion of, and Tammy was helping us, was no matter what we do, functionally, you're deciding whether or not you're going to approve the second truck by saying, yes, I'll appropriate the other half of the truck. And then Bill's got a couple other things he put in the appropriation, so, it's not so much that you're authorizing to buy one, to buy two, it's that we did not at this time last year set out $103,000. You did 75, that's enough to cover the one. Funny how with this fire department and the township this last year, every time we've kind of faced a big decision, no matter the territory time, it's the day I was talking to one of you, it was 4 runs back to back to back, including the young person that had anaphylactic shock at the high school. So,
that's every day,
well,
that's I see the,
but that was timely. We were conversing earlier, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, the reserve season up, so I guess you know, I guess you know which one's the better of the two. And you're a fender bender away from being reserved.
Don't even say that.
Well, so currently the 2012, it's not set up for any kind of emergency response or anything. It's what, for whatever reason, the fire department has to plow their own stuff, so that the town doesn't, anything doesn't. So that vehicle it's called a support truck. We can use it, but as a reserve, but there's no emergency lights on it other than yellow lights. And it's set up to just be that 30%.
because we're only talking.
Basically, at the end of the day, the intent on the cell phone truck is to do this, but we have 75 in there, and for one truck, it's 51,555, so the remainder of that, would have to be allocated from, either from the equipment fund or from the general fund of the cell. The money is there, so that's not the issue, it's where do you take it from?
Well, my question now is that, you know, Bill did put in $29,000 for the additional appropriation. So with that added, then we could purchase the 2 trucks.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, it's gonna go up 30%.
yes, we're gonna go up $8,600, it's gonna be 30% more if we don't do that.
And then that would leave the fire territory paying that at the first of the year, you would be out of the trucks, but I think, you know, I was
mind you, that
opposed
would come
to
the
it.
first year, Patsy. We will have to wait till the June draw, because we don't get any of our money until the June draw. So that's why, like the money that he was talking about earlier, and that was factored in through all the meetings, that very first line, it was money from Center Township. So that money won't be there until June. So.
Yeah, I noticed the fire territory, you mentioned $1 million something that. you
Yeah,
were
it's
supposed to get
around
from us.
1.7.
1.7,
If you
yeah.
go back to I apologize, I didn't bring it with me, but that original document with the columns going down, that very first line was the December draw money coming to the territory, because it has to fund it until the territory gets their draw.
So now let me be sure I understand this correctly. With the 29,000 in the additional appropriation, we will have the money to purchase the 2 trucks.
Yes.
And the money, you know, is there.
Yes.
And we will hold the title for these trucks for posterity or whatever. And you're gonna pay the insurance
Yes.
for the first of the year, and then the fire territory will take over the
Well,
insurance.
there's even
It's
more,
it's already in the budget for the fire territory.
Okay,
there's more savings though, Rick. Cause you're looking, what year is that, Ram?
It's a 2016.
Okay, 2016,
The other
it's
one's
probably
2012.
not going to, I don't think I'm gonna pay it to fix it. But, so now we don't have the maintenance on, we've got brand new vehicles that we're not gonna have to worry about maintenance probably for.
Better gas.
well, that was.
The insurance is a wash, because we just transfer what insurance we have on that to that, so that's a wash. You know, we're actually coming out ahead, like I said, 30%. We're gonna pay 30% more if we don't do it now, and you need it.
It's not a frivolous thing. We have to have
Well, I
an addition.
understand, you know, you wouldn't ask for anything that would be frivolous, it was just the fact that we're not gonna have that much money, and I was concerned about not having that much money. But now I see the need, and now I see that the costs are gonna go up, and I think the taxpayers would want us to do this, to make sure that you have the vehicles that you need. And since you're gonna pay some and all this kind of stuff, and, I think everything can be worked out, I make a motion that we purchase the trucks.
Well, it's for the purchase of,
It's not gonna purchase,
it's
it's.
the appropriation.
I have a little more discussion with
Yeah.
appropriation.
Okay. Okay,
I will let you know also those, I know you're working towards it, but I don't know how long the whole, they've been on hold for 2 months now. And he calls me, I'm like, I promise you I will have a decision.
well, is that gonna change what it's gonna give you for the truck now that it's dead?
Well, when it was set up, there was no initial trade-in, what we're trying to do is surplus that. truck.
Okay, I got it.
And not a trade-in, because it's on the state bid, so they don't work off of a trade-in program, but, I mean, if you try to buy this vehicle, it's about 85,000 out in the market, and we're in it for 54. Thank you.
I had questions, if we're done with the fire side.
Yes, I could.
On that, rainy day additional,
Yes,
so refresh my memory, and kind of to catch Laurel up with it. So there was a abandoned home that we had approved to purchase that's adjacent to South Cemetery to expand the cemetery. What month was that? Was that in 24?
no,
Was it in 25?
we started discussions in 24, this actually started with the prior trustee.
Well, no, we just approved it though.
Right, that's what I'm
So
saying.
was
Yeah.
that in March? I don't know.
It was,
It was close to March.
yeah, it was quite a few months ago.
Well, but at the time, we said, we have, the ability to do that, and we did. So, we have, in the rainy day, we had appropriations of 56,579. Is that where the majority of the money for that's gonna come out of, or?
Yes, yes.
So,
So this is the balance.
okay,
This has already been done, this is the formality.
I'm just making it clear.
Okay.
Because I didn't have minutes to look at it, so. So the additional appropriation will put out original 100,000.
Yeah, 100,000, yes, I apologize.
Okay. Okay, closing costs. I thought they were gonna waive closing costs.
No.
We have to put in the time insurance.
Oh, okay.
Miscellaneous.
All right.
Some get paid. And the doctor, so, yeah.
The realtor that helped us wait on it.
Right, that's better.
Laurel, you said, we've been using it for training since it was purchased. And then, next month, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, we're gonna use it for live fire training on the 23rd. We'll get our home now.
You saved, $20,000 or $30,000 even.
Yeah, like,
You know, they tear it down. You save that money.
So you said you saved $30,000.
I can't remember what the original quote is, but I would say it was upwards of $37,000 for that demo.
For them to tear it down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are gonna burn it in there.
It's 23rd, that'll be something.
23rd, 22nd, 23rd is the day.
I want to see that.
There for months on the 23rd.
Oh, the 23rd is
And in
October. Okay, I'll still be here.
I said,
We
we
gotta
let
file the newspaper.
Patsy throw the much inside. Let's get some of that.
Are there any more questions about additional appropriations?
I don't have any.
Oh, there,
So I will entertain a motion to approve them as written.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Old business I added, to the agenda that we had tabled the library appointment, from last month. The candidate didn't have enough residence time appointed. Bill, did you have a chance to talk to the board and to see, if they could?
no, I did not talk to her, but they have enough for a quorum that they could proceed with budget matters and things like that. So, this is the only candidate that's come forward, so, putting him on is not gonna be.
So if by chance someone else would come up before December, would you consider that?
I'm sorry, what?
If we would have other candidates before December, then at our December board meeting, we would entertain all candidates.
If you wish. Yes,
I'm just saying,
yeah, yes.
just in case. but-
Well, I think in the spirit of, the board, and the citizens, I think we should be transparent. If somebody comes forward and wants it, I think we should hear what they have to say.
And it might be nice if you got a chance to meet Cheryl Donald, she's the new director, and she's been a great several years.
You better come on.
I just know from sweating it sometimes, and you're gonna have a forum for an important meeting.
Would you want to invite her to our
Yes.
board meeting on the first?
Yeah.
October, was it October the 1st?
Bill, we did, I can't remember what the young man said. I think he said it in December, but I can't remember. It was the 29th.
Was it December 29th?
Oh, okay, then that would be our magic day, they have it.
Correct.
I think, is his first name B-R-I-G, Brigham?
I apologize, I remember Francois. I think that's his last name.
That's, what his last name is Francois, but
Okay.
it's inside the.
Brigham or something like that. Brigham.
We apologize to you that we don't know.
Okay, is there anything else on business for the board?
I'd like to welcome Laurel to the board again, and thank you again for taking that secretary position. And look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
We have a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn until our next meeting, October the 1st.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-7. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes,
Thank you.
have to be.
Thank you.